we're going to hit a roll call, 30 seconds, roll call every Sunday. I think we'll do that every Sunday so we can see who's here. And then if you are here, give us an URAH in the comments so we know who's here. That way I can talk about you. I mean, talk with you about those that aren't here. As soon as I get it up on screen, we're going. Here we go. Bam. I think that's the quickest I got it together. And I got, watch this, watch it. Watch me, watch me. All right, here we go. Roll call. If you're late, you owe. Roll call. And you got to let us help us update it. If you've been here for a while and you're not on the roll call, let us know. Ray from Queens. Ray is usually working, so he watches this on Monday. Ray from Queens. Carl, Green, Doc Holliday, David Bryant, Mike Laycook, Randy and Ellie, Anderson Ho, Menachem, Ed Creedon, Carrie Ann Marie Potts, Jordan Hammond, Heavy J, Bryce, Wyborg, Richard Bridges. What? Oh, she said slow down. Richard Bridges. Utley. J-E-U, Utley. Matthew Askren. Chicken has arisen. Where's Chicken been? Michael's Drones. Zombie Blood. Cave Diver. I already see some. Ball of Smetty's here. Hot Rod. Jared. JTB. John McJunkin. Gunny East. Old Gyrene. Mark Hankins. USMC Vet. Keenan Lindsay. Eric S. Eric Green. Sarn Stacking. Jay Dilly. ZZ Ping. 420 Bob. 420 Network, Young Ma, J Dub, Kirby Dude, Big Red, Randy Hodder, Joshua Payne, Oversized Detour, OD, Salty Saxy, WM, Dr. Gimpy, B. Callen, Big Country. All right, and Bossetti, Michael Chamberlain, howdy. Michael Chamberlain, SR. Solo X-Marine. She said I did it too fast. Want to do it again? Not today. What's up, everybody? Welcome Sunday, SFMF Live. Busy day. I've been working like too much. I'm ready for a break. And we're traveling again soon. Weeb, K2N, greetings from Texas. Howdy. Love us some Texas. Which, again, we're going to be traveling there again. Love some Texas. Got to get some, I mean, the list is long as what you can do in Texas. But, of course, Buc-ee's is definitely on the list. Whataburger, meh. I don't like waiting so long for Whataburger. It's good, but they take so long. Now, Buc-ee's or pretty much brisket anywhere. Greg. Hi, Sarge. How you doing, Greg? Good to see you. Good to see everybody. It is Sunday. We were on last Sunday, or we missed last Sunday, and we may not be on next Sunday. So just FYI up front, we're on the move. You know we're on the go. We're on the move constantly. Great church service today. I'll tell you all about it here in a minute. WW's here. Good evening, Sergeant. Never received a reply from you about, mail address. Look, I'm looking at the producer. Still doing homework. Did you get a WW email? She's checking right now. WW. I'm going to get on it, but we'll get on it. I want to say tonight, but definitely before Wednesday. John McJunkin and crew is here. Were you here for roll call? John McJunkin, if not, you know what that means. Happy Sunday evening, Sergeant Major and crew. That's everybody. Got some good news from Annie Benani, too. I kind of told y'all about it on Wednesday. Happy Sunday from Doc Holliday. What's up, Doc? Good Sunday, all y'all. And it is. Church. I had missed church last week because we were traveling. You know, we're watching it online, but still just being in there. And today's message is above all else, God doesn't want to do things for you. He wants you to include him in all your doings. Right? Let me see if I can explain it how the pastor did today, because it was amazing. Again, I was just looking at like eyes wide open, like, My God, he's talking to me. Pop and smoke. What color is that? Orange smoke. WW. Appreciate you, brother. Definitely. Thank you very much. And so humility is what he was talking about. The pastor was talking about today, and he referenced it in the Bible, how many times it said and what different. I can't memorize all that stuff like a lot of people do. I just can't. I try. I'm telling you, been in plenty of men's groups where we pick a verse and we talk about it and we memorize it. So you say the verse, you describe what it means to you, and then you say the verse again. Terrible at that. Anyway, today's was about humility, and you ask God for things. We all do. God, please get me out of this mess. God, please help me. Please help my daughter. Whatever. And he's not just going to do things for you. He wants you to include him, so you do things with him as he does things with you. So it's a relationship. I'm not religious. I have a relationship with God and his son, Jesus Christ. Again, I'm not a preacher or pastor, but the way he explained it, and it's about humility, being humble. And you meet those guys that are just the nicest guys in the world. You don't know, they don't give you their resume, and they're not telling you how great they are. And when they have money, and they've made millions already, and they're a doctor and a lawyer and a real estate agent, and they have multi-million-dollar homes, but they don't show it. You don't see it. You don't hear it. Just nice guys, women too, nice women, nice ladies. That's the humility that God is mentioning. If you got to tell someone how great you are, you might not be that great. All right. Tori G is here. WW, thanks again, brother. El Gato, go Gator. Semper Fi, my friend. Look at those, some cool emojis on there. Orange Smoke from WW. Thank you for your support. Humility and be humble. WW, I'm telling you, and he was going on and on. I was waiting for him to mention just service members. Our pastor, he's not military, but he's a big fan, and he usually does on times like these, because Marines, soldiers, service members that are like that. Doesn't matter what their rank is. You just know that they're senior or they're experienced, and they don't have to pull rank to get you to work for them and get you to do what they're doing or to get the mission accomplished. Right. The best is when that's why I like boots and utes. I like when the Marines used to wear the rank insignia on our cover. So even when you went boots and utes on a cover, you can still support your rank. You got to tell somebody that you're a staff sergeant. They can't tell just by your actions. Then again, you're doing something wrong. So I love taking my blouse off. I love we're making this happen humbly. Shadow Games. I'm tired of fighting, pain, and illness. I've asked for years, and it's going to get worse, harder alone. I'm done. Okay, you got to reach out. Shadow, you got to talk about it. Doc, Madam Producer, did you happen to catch my email? Did you get an email from Doc? She deleted it. She's like, ugh, Doc, again? If she did, WW's too. She's checking now and on us as a team. But I'm telling you, between homework and work, I'm telling you what I'm building right now, and you're going to laugh. Even my neighbor's like, still? You still work? Because I had to borrow a hacksaw from him. You still working on that thing? Let me make sure I'm on live chats. I'm on top chat, so let me fix that. As soon as that drop-down window pops up. And it's not, so, all right. Mike 300, what's up, Smith? From Michigan, checking in. Tony, what made me uneasy about Vietnam is when you see beautiful farm girls in town trading rice and then turning to Viet Cong sharpshooters later on that evening. Tony, facts. Wow. So it not only and it happened in Iraq and Afghanistan too. Same thing. Walking down the street, the women and kids are on the street. You want to say hi to build those relations. You give them candies, right? They love that. For a while, they were sending us Beanie Babies. We were giving those to the kids, shoes, slippers, right? They were sending stuff to the infantry units. And as we did our patrols to build those relations, just giving stuff away, just giving. We had money to give away. I mean, just try to build that relationship. And then later to see that same kid throw an IED into it. So it's probably where they got it from, Vietnam. And that's uneasy because they're people, they're humans, they're kids, and you don't want to do anything bad to them until they're getting ready to toss an IED to you. So it's same. I'm sure they were saying, and once Iraq and Afghanistan figured that out, like we're nice people, especially to women and children, they completely took advantage of that. WW, ever get stationed in Sigonella? I never got stationed there, but I went through there 2 different times when I was with the Air Wing, taking a CG somewhere, and we stopped in Sigonella on 2 occasions. So we spent a few days both times. I didn't, not long enough to get out and experience it, but enough to go out in town and get some pizza, right? Some good Italian food. Mark Gaw, hang out, buddy. Tell us. I want to hear. He's mad at himself. The Vegas one. Yes, but he needs sympathy also. He's mad at his father. He's not mad at us. I kind of want to just make fun of him, but I won't. John McJunction from some very nice and generous people. Gary Sinise, man, we went to a concert of his recently. Great crew. His whole crew is just humble and sincere and just giving back. How much has Gary Sinise given to the military? Amazing. Mel Gibson, Keanu Reeves, Mrs. Bo Derek, Miss Christy Swanson, and President Trump. Just passion, pure passion. Just subbed, says Wes, 215. Thank you for your service, sir. Thank you, Wes, for being here, brother. Hang out with us. Got a couple cool topics to talk about tonight. Once we see who is all here, we do roll call. Just started that today. Roll call. Well, we've done roll call in the past, but we're doing it in the first 5 minutes. So you got to catch us right away. And yeah, I did it too fast. I did it like in the first 10 seconds, and it took me about 10 seconds to do it. I'll spread out, but we need a bigger whiteboard, dry erase board. We need a bigger board because there's so many of you, and we absolutely very much appreciate all y'all being here. Gift memberships. I see some gift memberships popping off. Carl Green in the house. 10 gift memberships. Thank you, Carl. Look at all these new members. Here's what it means to be a member. Get an eagle, globe, and anchor by your name. You get the use of emojis, some very, very cool ones. And you get to join us Wednesday night. Wednesday night live is members only, and it's live. It's pretty live. You need to check it out. I think I saw Lay Cookie pop in. I got to fix this live chat. There it is. Live chat. All right. Lay Cookie, what's happening? Now, whatever I did, I got no chats now. There they are. All right. Am I live? Hoodoo Hillybilly. David Rosenbaum. Creating Change. GB. All right. Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. Welcome. Sunday night. Great church service. It was about humility today. Being humble. Pastor was telling us about a friend that he has, an Australian guy, an Aussie. And he's like, he asked him one day, and I kind of talked about it earlier. He's like, bro, how are you just this nice all the time? You're just a solid dude. You're just awesome. He said, what would you change? What have you learned having a doctorate and a master's, and he's a scientist and a pilot, and he's just all these things, a lawyer. He does all those things. He said, what I've learned in doing all those things and getting all those degrees is there's still more to learn. It's like, wow. You, when will enough be enough? You're never too old. You're never too old to learn more or something else, a different trade. I'm talking about golfing. in a little bit. I'll talk about golfing and something advice for the young Marines moving up in their career. And funny, golf has something to do with it. But that's what he said. How humble is that? This guy has all these accomplishments. Being a millionaire is not that impressive anymore, but a multi-millionaire, maybe even a billionaire, right? Now we're talking. And this guy just wants to learn more. And then what do you do with all that knowledge? Pass it on, right? That's also what we're going to talk about. Social media. Oh, I got that on my notes. Social media today, like us. I think we do it a little different. All right. I see a bunch of deleted messages. we have some trolls. You're not mad at us, trolls. You're mad at your father. You're mad at yourself. Horton Jammin. Jordan Hammond is here. What's up, my friend? How you doing? I've been praying for you and your family, as have we to you and yours, Jordan. It's good to see you. Glad it's been a little while. All right. Yeah. Why are there trolls? I like when Charlie Kirk would get a troll and he'd say, "You're not even a good troll. Trolls used to be a lot better." Mark is still here. Is he still here? Mr. Peanut. Jesus loves you as well. Thank you. Social media, keep the boots off. Where'd it go? I wanted to read what that said. What did he say? That was WW. Man, my thing's bouncing around. Social media, keep the boots off. Every time I start to read it, it bumps up. Boots off of it until they make E5. WW, that's a good point. And bring that up. That's my last topic. We're going to talk about more guidelines, stricter rules to social media. Good God. Man. All right. All these poor lost boys. Go Gator. I'm telling you. They're turds. Haven't heard that one in a while. Turd. How'd you know I was mad at my father? Moose, see, I told you. What makes Baldy? What is it? I like the bald jokes. JTB is here. 1046. BC. Oh, boot camp. Bravo Company. Before Christ. 1371 era. The Iceman. What makes Baldy an expert? Oh, who? Dr. Who, what, where? Check this out. Hang out with us for a little while because you'll know Baldy ain't the knowing all. It's all of you. If you're real. Served one contract and now he won't stop yapping about it. Aye. All right. New ship in the Marine Corps. Let's get on to some good stuff. Medium landing ship. I can't keep up with all the ships. If there's any Navy on here, let's hear it. Landing craft, obviously carriers, battleships. I don't know all the LSTs, LSDs. I know the ships I was on when I was on them. I have about 3 years combined, which is typical for a Marine that serves 20 or more. I think that's probably pretty average. About 3 years time on ship, a couple deployments, a MEU. That time adds up, especially in the infantry. And you actually get paid once you get paid for it once you reach a certain. I don't remember what it is. And I've always said I really enjoyed my time on ship. Different for the Navy when you live on a ship for 3 years. Yeah, you know when you pull into your home port, you can get an apartment, I think, or you live on base, but you basically live on that ship for 3 years. That I wouldn't like, because you don't have the room and the space, and you don't have the freedom. Even if you do stay on ship, when you go out and party, go with your friends, you go somewhere the weekend, so you got to come back to the ship, even when it's in port. So it's different, right? You do a green side, you do a blue side. Blue side is either um, in a hospital if you're medical somewhere, or you do your blue side on ship. So very interesting. I don't know if I could have done 30 years in the Navy. Being a Marine on ship, however, is pretty cool, because you're going somewhere to do something. So that's our Uber, right? That's our lift. We're just, so while we're on ship, yeah, you do some classes, you do some training, but you really eat, sleep, work out, and play cards, right? And with today's technology, I'm sure these kids are just on their social media, right? They're on their devices more than anything else, which is kind of sad. Again, that direction that we're going. Get out, get on the flight deck, walk around the ship, stay out of the Navy's way, just stay out of their way. But the configurations of ships, it's been probably 20 years since I've been on a ship, so I would love to go on, especially one of these new ones. So the new one coming out, the new medium landing ship, LSM is the acronym for it, medium landing ship. And I'm guessing, and I don't know anything about it. The producer was just telling me about it right before the show, but it could probably carry more Marines quicker to get to a fight. Right? That's the, if the ships aren't loaded with guns like the battleships, then they're there to refuel. They're there for transporting equipment, transporting Marines, whatever the case is. So if they're still making new ones with new designs, again, I got to imagine the highest of technology and the ability to transport more Marines to the fight quicker. Right? I can't imagine what a gym looks like now on ship, or even the chow hall, the mess decks, right? The chief's mess and all that. It's got to be amazing. So with this new ship coming out, medium, and I'm guessing it's probably been in the works for 10 years, 20 years, who knows how long, but it's definitely anything to upgrade our current services. And going through, some of you old timers, we're still using some gear or eating some MREs from 20, 30 years ago. So with technology, stuff's got to change all the time, but it gets very expensive. And we like to always say that, yes, Marines, we do the most with the least amount. That's just a fact. But we're used to it. We're smaller. We're a smaller branch. So, like, when the Army gets a new weapon, Marines will get it eventually. Once the Army uses it, they figure out what's wrong, they likes and dislikes, if it's working or if it's not working, then the Marine Corps will get it. And it's new to the Marine Corps. We love it. Same with ships, same with vehicles, same with gear and equipment. The only thing that don't change and never will is our uniform. Right? They've been trying for years. Everyone's been trying for years to try to find their uniform that they're going to have the rest of their life. Marines did that about 30 years ago. There hasn't been a change, hasn't been a change in the outfits probably in 100 years. Same with blues. We don't change just to change. The camis, the Marpet uniform took 20 years to finally say, yep, slap the table. This is it. Purchase 200,000 and let's outfit our Marines. And they haven't changed since. We got to be like that. We got to be cheap like that because we don't have a lot of money. We got to put our money where it belongs. So the ship, being on ship as an officer wasn't bad. Richard Bridges, right? You live in officer country. You got your state room. Sometimes you'd have a roommate. Sometimes you wouldn't. Still tiny, but it's your room. That's how the chief berthing is. So E7 and up is pretty cool as a Marine also. One, the chief's mess is amazing. And I would tell you about it, but it's not authorized. Chief's mess is pretty damn amazing. Officers aren't allowed in there. Ain't no one allowed in there. E7, 8, and 9. That's it. No one else. If you get invited, you better check with 8 or 9 different chiefs to make sure it's a real invite. You don't go in the chief's mess. I like that about the Navy. But the berthing is the same way for chiefs. About 5 or 6 chiefs in one, just a bigger compartment. Marines, E7 and below, or E6 and below, you're in a berthing area. You're in a berthing area of, I don't know, about 50, 60 Marines, right? It's not bunk beds, it's quad beds. I don't know what they're called. Some are hammock racks, some are coffin racks, but you're sleeping about minimum 3 high, if not 4 high. But it's good. It's a little picnic table or two right in the middle so you can play your cards. Not a lot of room, but again, you're only there to catch a ride. So I'm wondering about this new ship. What kind of new technology? Cadet Wade. I'm gonna look at the comments real quick. Sergeant Major, this is Cadet Wade. Cadet Sutter is joining the Navy in May, becoming aircraft ops marshalette on a carrier. Awesome, very cool. Sutter is joining the Navy in May to become an aircraft ops marshal. That's awesome. Tell him I said congratulations. How about you, Wade? And good to see you on here. Why did the Navy switch to green fatigues? Is that fact? Are they in green? Is the Navy in green now? I don't know why they remember that blue for a while, blue camis. The Navy was in blue camis with blue suede boots. Same color as the ocean. Didn't know what the point of that was. All right. Anybody mention about the ship? I don't want to look. LSM, medium landing ship. But the acronym is LSM. You know how they do that. It doesn't matter. Blue, yes, they're still blue. They're green, switched out from blue. Navy, changing. Just trying to find the right uniform. I do think the other services, especially the Army, just purchases too soon. They see something, they probably have a board and they talk about it. Yeah, that's cool. Let's buy that. And then they outfit the entire Army, all 530,000 soldiers, and then they change it a couple years later. The Marines don't have money to do stuff like that. Flying Navy, it says, I'm at flight school at Spartan in Tulsa, where Mitri went 30 years ago. Still hoping to become a Marine officer once I get my bachelor's and fly in the reserves. There you go. Go for it. That's a good plan. Very good plan. WW says, do you know that Army warrant officers called Marine deck officers are the captains of Army ships? So do you know that Army warrant officers called Marine deck officers are Army captains of Army ships? So just like they can fly, warrant officers can fly. They can also be captains of a ship. I did not know that. But I did know it for the Coast Guard. I think the Coast Guard can have enlisted captains of a ship. Is it enlisted or just warrant officers? Pretty interesting. So Army warrant officer is it's pretty high rank, I guess, if you will, or just very, very similar to a commissioned officer. 11 Bravo, infantry, but loving civilian life. Make sure you get any injuries taken care of, says Robert Sterling. Get them injuries, make them claims. Absolutely. Good advice. That's what we do. That's the kind of stuff we talk about here. The other thing we're just talking about to a bunch of Marines recently was, remember the RCO in boot camp for talking rifles. Let me switch gears to shooting on the range. I saw somebody ask, do you shoot every day in boot camp? You don't shoot every day. You shoot every day for 1 week, but building up to that, you snap in for a week at the rifle qual portion of boot camp. Very important, because if you don't qual, you cannot be a Marine. One of the things that if you can't do, if you cannot qualify, you're not going to be a Marine, period. So Marines do take it seriously. And it is a way to get kicked out of boot camp if you cannot qual. They send you back multiple times. You qual on a Friday. If you go unqualified, you shoot again with the next relay. You go again, you shoot again. The very next day, they shoot all the unks. Maybe more than once or twice, I don't know. They try to qual you that weekend. Friday and Saturday. If you still don't qualify with the rifle, they don't kick you out yet. They drop you back to a company that's just starting grass week. So another week of snapping in, practicing, and then another week of qual. So they give you every opportunity. And if you just can't get it, then again, you can't be a Marine. That's when you go to the Army. Just kidding. But you cannot be a Marine. That's just a fact. So it used to be iron sights. Iron sights is the sights that come on they call them iron sights because part of the iron made out of steel. They're made into the weapon. Trying not to insult anybody's intelligence, but there's no glass involved. There's no magnification of the target. It's just a dot and a post, and you line those up. Old-fashioned iron sights, and old-timers love that. Iron sights alumni. Iron sights are nothing. And I'm 50-50 on that. Because when the RCO, and I'm sure who knows what it is now, somebody let everybody know what kind of scope you're using now. We just had the RCO with the chevron, the little red dot, and it was great. I don't even know the magnification of it, but it was good. You could also use it to scope out an area. But it absolutely helps. Changes everything about firing. So for the longest time, they still didn't allow it in boot camp. They wanted you to learn how to qual with iron sights. Then you put the RCO on. Then you go off into combat. Now they qual with iron sights. I mean, with the RCO or whatever sight they're using nowadays. And old timers are like, that's not fair. They should shoot iron sights. They should shoot. Well, I agree that they should learn how to use iron sights and manipulate the elevation and windage, and they should absolutely know how to use it in case something happens to your scope, right? Because even way back then when they started issuing scopes, it was just squad leaders got this, team leaders got the scopes. Now every single Marine gets some kind of scope for their weapon, again, which I think is amazing. Amazing. Now even in boot camp, every single recruit qualifies now with the scope. So you got to ask, and any new Marines here, did you learn how to shoot with iron sights? And I'm not talking about one day of snapping into the snap-in barrel. That's not learning how to adjust windage and elevation on your iron sights. So one, I think they should be doing that. And have a qual, have a iron sight qual, and then a scope qual. You don't need to add any more time to boot camp. Make it a one-day thing, whatever. Make it so you know for a fact that a Marine going into the fleet knows how to manipulate his iron sights. So fast forward to, I don't know when, very recently, they're also allowing the scope on a pistol, the red dot, if you will. You know, a little tiny, just again, a magnifying glass. It has a battery. It is a scope, the red dot for the pistol. Man, that's a game changer. If you've never fired one with a pistol, you got to try it because it's the same thing. I was that hard-headed old guy. Nah, I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. I'm an iron sights guy. And it's a pistol, right? If you're shooting more than 25 meters in a pistol, you're in a terrible firefight. Something went wrong. Until I got one of the red dots on, I got a 6-hour 220, a 45. I got a 45 and a 9 mil, but I have it on my 9 mil, the red dot. Game changer. Absolutely love it. It is quicker. You can get on target a whole lot quicker. It's amazing. It really is. They're going to allow Marines to qualify with the red dot. Again, I don't want to be the old timer win back in my day, but same thing. They should learn how to use the iron sights first. You don't, excuse me, there's no adjusting windage and elevation on a pistol. That's that Kentucky windage. You got to know where to aim for you and the pistol and how you hold it. That's all you. But the red dot helps you get there. So again, 2 quals. A one-day qual that you're doing it with the iron sights, and then your qual for your badges and all the bling bling you get to wear for division matches. It's a completely different story. Know how to use it with and without the sights. All I'm saying. So it'd be interesting to see Gunny. Right now, perfect timing guns. Adam East. Red dot is authorized now if your unit buys it. Well, that's a pretty good stipulation. So where do you balance your budget? That's what you got to get with the master guns, right? Get with the gunner. That's what you got to convince. You got to convince the gunner, the Marine gunner in your battalion. That's only infantry. If you're not in the infantry, good luck getting those red dots. And I guarantee you, every gunner I know and every master guns I know in the infantry, they would say, "Yeah, we'll put aside some money for them once you show me you've mastered the pistol without it." Then you do, because it does. It saves time. Can't be cheap to outfit 1,400 Marines in an infantry battalion. So it's going to be a huge money issue. But I like it. Look at J. Rod by God did iron sights in 2001. That's good to know. It wasn't that long ago. It's 25 years ago. But John McJohn, too many quals now. Iron sights, RCO, red dot, MBG, thermal. Just get back to the basics. I'm with you, John. Again, know the basics. But when you're going to combat, you give any Marine everything they need to make them a better warfighter, more accurate. Yes, ma'am. Joe Mack, 4,100. What happens if you're going to get out in 3 months, but there's no war going on? Oh, but there is a war going on. Great question, Joe Mack. That's why the producer notified this one for me. So Joe Mack, his question is again for everybody. What happens if you're going to get out in 3 months, but there's a war going on? I'll tell you right now, reenlist. That's just me. And it may not be that easy. That happened to me. That same exact thing happened to me, but mine wasn't 3 months. Mine was like by a couple of days. The monitors were in San Mateo, and I was at Main Side on Camp Pendleton, if you know what that is. Did I have a motorcycle back then? I don't know. I don't know how I got out there, but I found where 25 area was, San Mateo. Hauled butt out there because my EAS was coming up, and I just want to know what my options were, really. And I get there, and I was like 1371 era backbone combat engineer, and the monitors are like, I got in line, I waited, or corporal, right? 4 years is up. And some master gun sitting there. I say, "Hey, Master Gunner Sergeant, yes, I'd like to reenlist. What are my options? Duty station preference, get promoted, bonus. What are my options?" And he said, no, no, and no. Yeah. After he stopped laughing, he said, "Your MOS is closed. You either have to change MOSs or get out." I'm like, maybe I'll just get out. What MOSs are open? And there was a couple like supply, motor T, cook, things I didn't. I appreciate all those, but I didn't want to reenlist into that. I didn't want to do it for 4 years. So I walked away kind of defeated. I was like, well, I guess I'm getting out. I'm married, have 2 dependents. I'm like, what the heck am I going to do? I started looking for jobs around Camp Pendleton. I'm an engineer. I know a little bit of construction. At the same time, I was playing football for the all Marine team, right? Base football. So all these things kind of were happening at once, but I couldn't play football if I wasn't a Marine anymore. So I was like, man, how could I? We're getting ready to go to the All Marine Bowl. Supposed to take a trip to Hawaii. I mean, everything was great, except my EAS was up. I was like, man, this is like August 3rd was my EAS of that year. So I went back to the monitor the next day, back to the monitor. They were there 3 days. I went to day 2, back in line. Good morning, Gunners, Master Gunner, Sergeant. How about today? He's like, nope. And extending your contract to play football was not authorized either. But that was kind of my motivation. And if I'm getting out, I got to have a plan. So all these things are coming up. So lo and behold, Desert Storm happens. Did I sign the extension paper already? I don't remember. And forgive me if the timeline is not exactly correct, but I was trying my best to. Oh, I did. So no, the extension came. 11-month extension came because of Desert Storm. So although I still couldn't reenlist, I could extend my contract because of Desert Storm. I was like, all right, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, I never heard of those places. I'll do it because I guaranteed I would have time to play on the football team and go to the All Marine Football Camp Championship. Surprise! We deployed instead. The game was off. No more football game. Deployed to Desert Shield at the time. Thankfully, okay, all that mess to tell you what I do now, that my EAS is coming up, but we're in a wartime situation. Reenlist. Here's what happened. Here's something else to think about along those same lines. Once we got to Desert Storm, guys that EASs were coming up involuntarily extended. Some were happy they didn't have to reenlist, they didn't have to go through the process. They did nothing. Their contract was just continued, right, until further notice. Most people were like, "Hurrah!" But some were like, "This is BS. My EAS is next week, Bubba. You ain't going nowhere until this is all said and done." I was there 9.5 months or something. I don't remember how long, but a lot of Marines in my unit were involuntary extended. Again, most didn't care, but there were some that did. So with that reenlistment, and you're going to reenlist for 4 years, right? They very rarely do they do 2 years anymore, but that could be a reenlistment, a reason to reenlist because of our situation today. So one, I know I'm going in all different directions. Reenlistment is not a guarantee. It's a request. This would be the time to reenlist where they ain't going to say no because of our situation in world events. So if you're having, if prior to this, if you were having a hard time reenlisting, do it now because they're not going to deny any packages now. It's a beautiful time. Bonuses, maybe not. I reenlisted 8 times, didn't get a single bonus for love of the Corps. My bonus was to call myself a Marine. So all depends on what you want to do. I don't remember the name of the who asked that. Oh, Joe Mack. Joe Mack, let us know, brother. Let us know what you're thinking, what you're doing, how long you've been in, all those things, and what is your deciding factor? What are you weighing? Interesting, Joe Mack. Thank you for taking the time to answer my question. So absolutely, Joe, and we're with you, brother. We got you. Need an RE1 alpha code. That's a good one. Your RE code 1 alpha is good. Chris, I don't remember the numbers. They own you for 8 years, Adam East. That's right. You're 4 years active, 4 years inactive. Meaning the 4 years inactive, you can grow your hair out, you can grow your beard, you can put your earrings all over your face, you can do those things, but you're going to be one of the first ones they call if they need you. So you got to maintain your uniforms. Really, all you got to do. You don't check in with nobody, nothing. Tim, thank you for your service. Soldier, Era, Hua. Doc Holiday, respect the uniform. That's a big orange smoke. Did I get it right? Doc Holiday, respect the uniform, honor the sacrifice, and stand for something bigger than yourself. Love this country, defend its values, and make it happen. No excuses, no backing down. All that's going to play into my last topic, Doc, called Do Your Time. Doc, if you can remind me that before we land this helicopter, I definitely want to talk about that one. Do your time. Thank you, Doc. Appreciate you, brother. Always. Bulldog is here. All right. Heavy J, member for 14 months. What's up, Heavy J? Sorry, been MIA. I'm Oscar Mike. Get some, brother. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for saying hello. Thanks for saying hello. Get some, brother. We'll see you. Ruckus. Probably some lap moves with your reenlistment as well. Some major because of the current situation. Semper Fi from Marine Corps, now a captain in the Air Force. Captain in the Air Force. Get some, Ruckus. Good to see you. Lap moves. I never did lap move. I did, I guess, technically, it was a lap move when I became a first sergeant, 89-99. Old school, 99-99. That was a lap move out of my MOS into wherever the Corps needed me. So, but no other lap moves beside that. But it's interesting to put it like that. And thank you for your service. Air Force captain, getting some. Era. Doc, come on, brother. Come on, brother. Appreciate you. And it's time. The producer shared a short with all of us about Alberto's. Let me bring that up first. WW. Those two colors look very, very similar. WW, dropping smoke. All WOs CW2 to CW5 are fully commissioned by the President of America. There's a second one from WW. Doc did a second one. WW just did one. Warrant officers, Chief Warrant Officer 2 to 5 are fully commissioned by the President. That's different in the Marines, right? The Marines are commissioned, Marine warrant officers are commissioned by the Commandant. Commissioned officers are from the President. It's different, right? You're saying all W's, all warrants are from the President. All right. Mandolins, did you do night invasions? Were you on active service? Yes, sir, Mandolins. Plenty of them. Because the enemy, a lot of time, doesn't have the night vision capabilities that we have. So 90% of our stuff was at night. Heavy J, laying them down. Those look good, man. Those all look good. I got to give props to the producer. Those emojis look great. Doc and WW are kicking it in high gear. Amen. Thank you guys very much. Yes, absolutely. So the producer sent us a short, Doc, that was this guy describing the carne asada burrito. Oh, the wife asked him, if you had to eat only one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be? He started describing the Alberto's carne asada burrito with cheese, sour cream, and guacamole. Maybe I added that part because that's how I like it. But he described this burrito, so that's it. The only thing I'd want, he said, I don't know where they get those tortillas from or he said, I try to find them, I try to order them online, try to make them myself. Alberto's got something going on with this tortilla. It's gigantic. It holds together, and the burrito itself is like a football. It's amazing, amazing. And she's like, "That's it." Any second, what else would besides that? What would you do? He said, "Oh yeah, of course, In-N-Out Burger." Yeah, the two beast mode places to eat. Mine would be Popeye's chicken. Would be number one. First of all, Popeye's, and then Alberto's, and then In-N-Out. Popeye's wings are the best. Boom, horchata Sundays. Yes, we definitely are. So we just got that recently. Funny, did you send the short the same day because we got that burrito, or how'd that pop up in your feed? Yeah, it popped up because Big Brother's watching. But I think it is a horchata. It's a horchata night, definitely. All right. Wilfred Cruz, Wilfredo Cruz. Hey, Sergeant, it's been a few weeks since I've been on. Good to see you. Good to see you as well. We weren't on last Sunday. We weren't on. We were traveling. America. This is Robert. Have you tried MREs in other countries? Yes. Alberto. Bort. I have. And I'm a terrible food critic because I like them all. The French, the Italians, Canadians, and they're all good. There's none that I can think of like, man, I really wish we had the French MREs. I think they're all pretty similar in their own ways. Just different countries put more emphasis on other things. The MREs, our biggest thing is the calories, because they know you're working. They know you're getting something. You need 2,000 calories per meal. I don't know if that's as important as if they place as much emphasis in the other countries. I do know that most of the other countries also get wine or beer with their MREs. They couldn't do that for Americans. Marines would take advantage of that, save them up, and have a party at like a week later. They do something, they would destroy it somehow, some way. So we would in Somalia. I remember there was more countries in a small area in Somalia. We were right at the airport or the airfield. I wouldn't call it airport. It was an airstrip. And that's where we were housed there. That's where we had our tents. In every single country, everyone landed there. So as they came in, their gear got unloaded. We'd see cases and cases of wine or beer. And all these other countries, they just wanted American stuff. They didn't care. These Marines were trading all their gear to include T-shirts and underwear and socks, and they didn't care. These foreigners just wanted anything American. So we had to watch the Marines because they started giving away K-bars and knives and Humvees and whatever. They're getting crazy. All right, Orange Smoke. Big Red, Carl Green coming in strong. Big Red, just because, brother, you are amazing. Amazing. What the? Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Crazy. Man. Lorraine, hey, my name's Christian. Hey, First Sergeant, I'm off duty for tonight. Hurrah. Christian, good to see you. Carl the GOAT. Look at Doc. Look at that GOAT Carl put up there. Carl is the GOAT. Thank you, Carl. Appreciate you. Brother. All right. Big Red Smoke. There's no way that's red. All right. Carl the GOAT. Amazing. All right, we talked about iron sights a little prematurely. I was saving that red dot qual, not qual. For the young Marines, and this group of gentlemen I'm hanging out with, and I'm withholding their information until I talk to them about it. But I definitely want to have them on the show as well. Some senior Marines, from sergeants, major, master gunnery sergeants, chief warrant officer, first sergeant, master sergeant, even a Navy chief. These guys are amazing. And it's like going back to Graceland. Is that what they call it? If you go to Graceland, where you're, I don't know how to put it, but just that whole camaraderie thing. And I barely just met them all, and right away, a lot of them were drill instructors. That helps, but our careers were completely different. We've run across the same Marines over the time, spilled the same blood in the same mud, but different times, different coasts, different geographic locations. But it doesn't matter. We had breakfast the other morning, like 20 of us, and it was like you would, someone from the outside would have guessed that we've been friends since grade school, because they're all Marines, man. They're all military. Only one not a Marine. Even had a young lieutenant there. But the camaraderie, the brotherhood, the era, in that, I'm telling you, just at one point I did sit back and look like, man, look at this. We could all strangers, but we have everything in common. Everything. How about that old guy we saw today? He had a Marine hat on. Where was that? Was that yesterday? Yeah. He was slowly walking by, an older gentleman, had a Marine hat by the mailboxes. Yeah. I said, era. And he looked. I said, Semper Fi Marine. He said, Semper Fi Marine. Did he say Marine? Yeah, he got a little straighter, right back, to start walking. He had to be 80 something. Yeah, 80 plus. Hurrah, just motivating. But that's how it is. That's how Marines are. I'm telling you, anyone at that restaurant would have thought again that we're childhood friends and catching up for the first time. All right. Question. John McJunkin, young Marine Ibarra, asks, why does our shooting instructor still have us practicing shooting with AR-15s, M16A2s, but not guns like Uzis? I'm not laughing at you, Ibarra. That's a great question. I would love to practice with Uzi. I'd love to shoot an Uzi. I've never even shot an Uzi. So it tells you right there. When I get my Zoot suit, maybe I'll get issued a Tommy gun and an Uzi at the same time. Great question, though, because that's more likely what you're going to shoot in the service if you do join the military. It's going to be an AR-15. M something, M4s, hopefully the M16A2s those are even outdated. I would recommend shooting an Uzi just for the pure fun of it and just another different type of weapon. What I think we should be training on for the longest time, and the only time I got triggered time with the what is it? What are they shooting? Man, I'm having a brain fart. What are they shooting like in Afghanistan, Iraqis? What do they have? What's that weapon that they all have? What is it? Somebody help me out. Where we confiscate all of them. What is their weapon of choice in Afghanistan, Iraq? AK-47s. That's what we should be training on, the AK-47s. Good, and because you're gonna end up there. The AK, thank you, Doc. Yeah, the AKs, Chris, thank you. That's what you're gonna be shooting a lot of times too, because you're gonna get in a firefight. They're gonna be left. You're gonna confiscate them. You'll have a much more chances of shooting an AK than you will an Uzi. But I do think we should get more familiarized with other weapons systems. Any country that whatever weapons those other countries have, and it seems like the UK always has some cool looking, a lot of plastic on it, but they're cool shaped and they're cool looking. I think we should be familiar with all of them. You know, we can pretty much figure it out how to pull the trigger, but safeties and magazines. What's that new weapon with the magazine that's behind the trigger? What was he calling that last night? A pork or something? Or the magazine is behind the trigger. Pretty interesting. RPKs, AK-47. Everybody remembers AK-47. Mandalance. What's a great Marine movie to watch? All of them. I like a few good, man. I'm chuckling. Bends and thrusts. Calling a weapon. Your gun. Ready, begin. Whoa. Carl Green. You out your ever-loving mind? Let's get the coin display up for our studio. That's it. I'm picking out a surfboard right now. I'm doing it on the surfboard. Whoo, man. Carl Green. What's better than the goat? You like put the goat to shame. That is amazing. Thank you, brother. We're getting, that's it. I'm busting my coins out, busting the surfboard out. I have a surfboard from the Marine Recruiter. Don't tell anybody. If you're on here, that Marine Recruiter that like 20 years ago, I took the surfboard home, said I would fix the dings in it and get it back to you. I'm still working on it. Calling a weapon a gun. This is my rifle. This is my gun. Bryce. Do you make some formation on foreign guns and platforms or learn it? Well, you learn it once you're deployed. Alberto, that's my point. We should learn it before we go. I didn't know how to manipulate an AK until I got in country and confiscated some. I wish I would have known before. Carl, brother. WW should be shooting the new Army rifle round 7.8 times 51 millimeter. They probably are. Guns, you on here? Are we? What are the Marines shooting now? I don't even know. The Rock. I'm watching this because the Visa Proviso San Diego. Paul Tulin, did he ask something? I don't know if I missed something, Paul Tulin, put it back up. Hello, why don't you have such a good weapon as our Grom? I don't know what that means either. Blah, blah, bro. That weapon behind me, I'll tell you where that came from. And I did want to put, just not that I have to explain myself to anybody, but can you imagine? I didn't want a real weapon up there for obvious reasons, but that's where that one came from. ANCmetalworks.com. Lay Cookie made that baby. And I just talked about next Sunday, maybe we're going to go on that side. You can see the American flag and the Eagle Globe and Anchor SFMF plaque that he made. Amazing work. Go to his website, ANC.com, and check out stuff like that. That's awesome. All right. We're not shooting that. We just got the M27. We don't need that. You like the M27? I remember the M27 coming out or talking about it prior to me getting out, I think. So Is everyone happy with that? They call it the new assault rifle or the new infantry rifle. Adam East, bring back the M14 Bulldog, bringing it back. They got it. It's just demilled and you use it for drill now. What a doc. Doc Sarmay, did you hear about the kid? No. Yeah. I didn't. Adam East, we're not shooting that. Yeah. Yeah, mine's doing some. Randall Knapp in the house. That's what it is. Purchasing some memberships, gift memberships. Scorpio, I like your background, Marine. 20-year retired Army vet brother. Hua, get some, Scorpio. Thanks for being here, brother. Thank you. From the B-Day boy, from the birthday boy. Oh, that's right. It's Randy's birthday today. You ready? Ready for me to sing? Happy birthday, Randy. Everyone, it's Randall Knapp, a.k.a. Randy. It's his birthday. What did Ellie get for you? The Pirate loved the Armalite, and what I said, war is war, right or wrong. The SAS were well popcorn in Belfast. Way too much for me, Paul Tulin. What are you doing for your birthday, Randy? Besides spending it with us, you need to go let Ellie take you out. Young Marine Mendoza asks, can you settle an argument amongst some of us cadets? Which of us is better, Young Marines, Devil Pups, or USMC ROTC? Here's my answer. Yes. All of you are above your peers. That's all that matters. You're making yourself 1% better every day, whichever is my politically correct answer. And here's why. The only time I've done, I did like one event with the Devil Pups, and I barely helped the Young Marines. I was a guest speaker at one of their balls and did one or two things with the Young Marines. I only know JRTC because I did that for many years. So I can't compare them without having any kind of bias. So all of you are making yourselves 1% better every day, and you're way light years ahead of your peers who aren't in any of those. Good question, though. Thanks for trying to put me on the spot. Alberto, I think you must have some information on that, especially if you're deployed in a specific zone like 5 times 42 Chinese. I don't know anyone who would even touch it. Happy birthday, Randy. Like how you spelled his name, Doc. The new M7 rifle that shoots a new 6.8 times 51 millimeter out to 1,200 meters. The M7, if it can shoot out to 1,200 meters, that's good accurately. Please stay true. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless you, brother. Happy birthday, Randy. Stoner Bob's birthday's tomorrow. Your birthday's not 4/20, Bob? Oh, that is tomorrow? I don't know what time it is. Thank you, Ellie. Thank you. Ellie is spending an extra day off with me. Yes, we've been out and have tomorrow off. Awesome. 58. You're just a young buck. 58 is young. That is such a young age, 58. That is. Where's Jared? Awesome. Good on you, Randy. You guys enjoy. Thanks for sharing your birthday with us. We appreciate that. Good night, Andres. What makes... Let me get over here. Doc. What makes a Marine more happy, an A-10 or an F-35? Fixed wing, I don't know, but I would shoot for a Cobra, right? That's what I like when the Cobras come in. Doc, What's going on here? Do you smell what Randy is cooking? Doc, get on. You guys are killing it tonight. Paul, what do you say? What do you say way too much for when someone tries to take your language and identify we loved the Barrett rifle? Paul Toon. I'm trying to keep up with you, brother. Now mine's freezing up. Rye whiskey is here. WW, Sergeant Major, USMC, Warrant Officer, Chief Warrant Officer 2 to Chief Warrant Officer 5, fully commissioned by the Secretary. In the Marine Corps, Warrant Officer 5, Chief Warrant Officer 2 to 5, fully commissioned by the President. Warrant Officer 1 is from the Secretary of the Navy. Okay, so the Marine Corps warrant officers are commissioned by the Secretary of War, but 2 and above, when they become a chief warrant officer, that's by the President. Mandy Lance, God bless America and have a good day, Marines. URAH. Happy birthday, Randy. Mandy Lance. Getting after it. You guys are amazing. Good stuff. Mandy Lance. We got some goats in the house. Speaking of which, there's a bobcat, mountain lion. What was that in our neighborhood? Because even this morning, I went out to my truck and there was a rabbit, like underneath my truck. It looked at me. I looked at him. I took a step, and all of a sudden, and our driveway's a little angle. I saw dropped the little rabbit turds, start rolling down the hill. Got a kick out of that. That was funny. Drop a pellet, eat a pellet. No, make a pellet. Eat a pellet, make a pellet. That's awesome. Thank you guys. Unreal. All right. Let me move it on. Mandolins. Boom. Okay, let me get caught up. Do your time. Where you at, Doc? Here's why I wanted you brought something up. I don't remember that triggered that. Do your time. And I was going to do a short. I've been working. Built in this railing that it's like a pack. I'm not building it from scratch. I mean, you working with that plastic flex. I heard it called many different things, but it's plastic. And it's easy to work with because it moved. You can't stretch a board, right? There ain't no board stretchers. So once it's in place, it's harder to work with wood like that. The measurements got to be precise. With this plastic, it's a little bit. I had to muscle some stuff today, but it's also hard to make straight cuts on this. So I had to cut them down the size and read the directions. Right, I'm not real good at reading directions because I can figure it out. I laid all the parts out. Well, I got this section of this railing up. They didn't say stop, make sure the bottom, the little flared bottom, the designer stuff that makes it look cool is the first thing you got to put down. So I put up this section completely and then I had to take it all down. So that's when I stopped and said, look, let me read through these instructions and get it all together. Do it the right way. Right? Do it right the first time. So you don't have to redo it. So now, but now, like tomorrow, when I work on it tomorrow, it's going to be like a assembly line. 1 8-foot section. I got 3 more to put up, and then the stairs. Though that's a completely different story. All right, let's see what Randy says. Oh, WW. So I made Friday, last day of the FDX. I got to the ER, put a nail through my boot. What are you doing that for, WW? You step on it? You step on a nail? Go through your boot? Oh, God, like on Home Alone? You step on that big nail sticking up? Oh, no. What'd they do? Why was there nails? Where were you? What kind of field op are you guys doing? What are you soldiers doing out there? Put a nail through your boot. Where did it go? Oh, that's horrible. Man, Randy, I had a tremendous honor to speak with Stan Patty last night. He was a highly decorated Marine, Vietnam vet, El Salvador in the 80s. He made gunnery sergeant, then up to Chief Warrant Officer 2, then LDO captain before retiring. Stan Patty, and I don't know him. That's awesome. How great is that, man? I love speaking to guys like that, no matter their story. Love it. Mandy Lance, good night, brother. Good night, Marines. URAH. Have a good day. Good night to you, brother. We'll see you. We'll see you next Sunday. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate all your support. Dawkins family, Semper Fi, brother. Appreciate you. What's up, Dawkins family? RTFI. What is that? Return. I don't know. I don't know that one. Yeah, it's not Rangers Lead the Way. Bulldog is not a Ranger. Recon. Tough fighting individuals. What is RTFI? Stone above. All else fails, follow instructions. And I'm terrible at that because I can figure it out. That was my combat engineer time. Lou Perkins. Good evening, sir. Retired 52nd Engineer Combat Heavy on standby era. Son-in-law, retired Marine Combat Engineer, backbone of the Corps, 1371. He did 2 tours in Fallujah. One badass dude. I'm proud of him and all who have served, as are we. Lou Perkins, thank you, brother. And congratulations on your service and retirement. Who? Some engineers in that family. Jimmy White. If it says 5 seconds, try to get rid of it in 3. Talking about hand grenades. Let's say a prayer for all that are deployed. We do every time, brother. Every meal, every time we pray. But I'm with you, Lou Perkins. Amen to all our service members. We talk about that again. Doesn't matter what side you're on. Pray for the troops. Prayer works. Never stop praying. All right. Oh, so WW got a tetanus shot. Those hurt too, don't they? Then the ER doc ran a probe through the wound and channel to clean it out, then bandage it. That sounds like fun. That is good on you. Had to feel good. Running a probe through the hole. Oh, man. Oh, read the. Yeah. I got it. I like that, Bulldog. RTFI. I got it. Read the. Awesome. Tetanus shot, probe, cleaning. What up, Hutch? Have a God bless Sunday, everyone. God bless Storm Major. Have a good night. Have a good night, Hutch. Thanks for stopping by, brother. God bless the USMC. So I'm okay with other people's pain. I am. You got to be in our business, right? I can look at other people's bloods, wounds, tendons, stuff coming out. I'm okay with all of that. Not so good on my own though. Well, the producer is tougher than I am when it comes to that. I'm not good with my own pain. But the worst was we're in some foreign country playing soccer with the locals, getting smoked by these guys. I don't know if it's Thailand, Indonesia, one of those countries that they're all good at soccer. And it was raining. We're like, that makes it even better. And there's puddles. And of course, they don't have nice grass soccer fields. So it was a dirt field. It became mud. And I was a keeper, right? I know what I want to do in soccer. I'm just not fast enough to do any of it. So I'm either a good forward that hangs out and waits for the ball, or I'm a keeper. And I suck at both of them. But I was a keeper, and I was having to get a couple, and now it's raining, so everything's moving slower. Well, there's this one shot, and it was the goal was in about 6 inches of water, so I didn't see there's a rock that I landed on. Dove for a ball, missed it. Probably no, I got it. I was game saving. I don't remember, but I landed on a rock with my hand. My right hand, boom, and just gashed open a big chunk of the palm of my hand. And it was one of those, as soon as I looked at it, felt queasy as soon as I looked at it. I was like, man, of course we have our own corner. Doc, come, just take care of this. I don't even want to look. I don't even want to feel it. But he started scrubbing it and was, I got to get all the stuff out because we were playing in mud, right? We were playing, and he's like, I got to get it all out, suck it up. And I'm a Marine, right? I was probably gunny at the time. I don't remember what I was, but I couldn't show, but I felt like I was going to pass out. Never been so embarrassed in my life. It didn't even hurt anymore. And that was just, oh, it was on me. Still got the scar. Maybe I'll show y'all one day. Horrible. Not good at my own pain, my own injuries. Jimmy White, God bless the USMC era. Infinite Rose, God bless America and the troops. Amen. John McJunkin, Umbaruto asks, young Marine, although I was born in America, my parents are both from Nairobi with green cards. If I enlist after graduation, will their citizenship be expedited? I don't know anymore. One Sunday I was bragging about how great it is. Join the Marine Corps, you'll get your citizenship later. They stopped doing that. They're still doing it. It's just not as easy as it used to be. And I don't know, Guns, did you tell me about that? It's still doable. But I told stories. I remember Marines coming, hey, Staff Sergeant, I'm going to get my citizenship today. Good to go. That happened quite frequently throughout my career. It's done, but it's done differently now. So I don't know. That's a good question. I don't even know if your recruiter will know that, but va.gov, probably you're gonna have to manipulate that website. It's very confusing. But put it in the chat. Just ask that question. If I enlist after graduation, will their citizenship be expedited? I don't know. I don't know. See what you can do. All right, Doc says no major historical event is recorded for April 19th, except for Randy's birthday. So next year we'll be celebrating on this day. But nothing significant April 19th in the Marine Corps, but Marines continue a legacy of honor, courage, and commitment. Stay ready to fight and win. Pain is weakness leaving the body. Bulldog. The whole lot of weakness left my body. First, it was out there for everyone to watch, and then it eventually left my body. That was horrible. Still think about it to this day. I think it was a Cobra Gold or something. Horrible. The start of the American Revolution is today. All right. Oh, Gunny says, yeah, it wasn't Gunny. I don't know who told me that. I don't know either. I know there are some new rules for kids born overseas while on duty, too. Wow. Yeah, so maybe they're working it. Andrew Barr, life is great. All good. Well, doing well. That's what Jesse Lee Peterson says. I'm doing well. No man is good. All right. Do your time. My last topic. Do your time. And here's what made me think of it. Watching some more shorts or videos on, and this time it was a Marine. That's why usually you see those videos of people in uniform going off, and the Army screwed me, the Navy screwed me. I can't believe this. This is BS. I'm getting out. I can't grow a mohawk anymore. I can't pierce my whole face. I can't do these. This is wrong. This is racial. This is whatever their reasoning is. I want to do all these things now that I'm enlisted. You don't see officers doing that crap, do you? There might be. And just saw another one. This was, what was the one I just watched from Nikki? Did you watch the latest one? It's a Marine, like telling people, don't reenlist. They're going to screw you over. They're going to, I don't even remember. I don't, but it was a Marine. And I think, who said it earlier? Randy or Doc said, whatever you said. But here's what I wrote down. Do your time. because the Marine Corps, the military is not for everybody. It's just not. I mean, that's just a fact. When 1% of the U.S. population joins the military, 1% is not very much. 1 point something. I don't know what it is today, but it's always hovers around 1%. So of each branch of service, Marine Corps obviously the smallest, the least amount, 0.06 or something, whatever it is, a very small amount of people join the military. We'll just keep it military since we have all branches on here, except the Space Force. Where are they at? There's Space Force on here. You know there is. So but it's not for everybody. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. Got it. I mean, people have their roles, right? God put us in these positions for a reason. God is guiding us. It's God's plan. Got it. But if you do join because you think it is for you, and then you realize quickly that it's not, do your time. Do your time is all I kept thinking when I was watching this Nikki TV video about this Marine complaining. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. There's been so many recently because of social media. Got it. Not everybody's happy. Not everybody loves the Corps as much as I do. I'm okay with that. Not everybody loves the best soldier in the world, WW. Do you think there's people that don't love it as much as WW? Yes. They're out there, but they don't go on social media and just completely possibly ruin the rest of their life. Any opportunity to get a job after the service, or one, because you're going to get kicked out and people are getting kicked out, right? I don't know what kind of discharges. They don't share that part, what kind of discharge that they're receiving of the 5 possibilities. I don't think no one's getting a bad conduct, but they're getting a different RE code. We talked about RE codes earlier. They're getting something that there's going to be something that they have to, when they put on any resume after that. So why would you go try to battle the entire Marine Corps on your way out? Because how bad the Marine Corps screwed. Just you, not the other 200,000, just you. You're the only one they're treating like that. And I got it. There's bad leadership all throughout. There's bad leadership. You're going to come across some people that you just got to do your time. Do your time. I don't want to say play the game because I don't like that term. Just play the game, No, get involved in the game, right? And figure it out what you can and cannot do, and how you can and cannot do it. If you can't do it, figure out how you can. Right back to that other message. Stop saying I can't and figure out, how can I? What do I need to do? It's not going to be the best. I think we have the best promotion system. It's not perfect, but I think we have a very good promotion system. So things aren't going to always go your way. But what in your ever loving mind could you be thinking to go on social media and air your grievances? Because I haven't seen one. I don't watch enough of. I don't watch them that much, but I haven't seen one that I was like, man, like I was on his or her side. Wow, the Marine Corps really did screw you. Because one, they're not telling the full story, right? You're not hearing that one female that was getting kicked, or she got kicked out of boot camp. And she was in boot camp for like 5 months, still wearing her green on green out in town. I'm a Marine. Well, maybe I'm not. After people start calling her out, I'm going to go back. You ain't going back now. Ain't nobody going to let you back in the way you've been bad-mouthing the Marine Corps. Then she brought up race. Then she brought up the female. Then she brought all these things are coming. Why you put that stuff on the internet that will never go away? You see, it happens to politicians, stuff 20 years ago. In uniform. These people are doing it in uniform, purposely in uniform. And then like, yeah, screw the Marine Corps. Who cares? That way I can spend more time on Instagram anyway. I can put out more TikToks. I can put out more. Producer and I were talking about, she brought it to light too. Crazy because once you're not in that uniform anymore, nobody cares. You don't have as much to offer. Because one, we saw how you badmouth the Army. Video after video after video after lie after lie after, we don't know, allegedly. Then you got kicked out. So you may have done something wrong. Just saying. How big is the Army? Like 500,000. So for the other 499,000 soldiers, it's a pretty good army. Why did they choose you to screw you over amongst everyone else? Right? All of a sudden, you want to do these things that when you enlisted, those weren't options. Right? Having a beard and a mohawk and painting it purple and throwing some jewelry in your face, that was never an option. Maybe later, after you enlist, after you go to your school, after you go to your MOS school, AIT, whatever, now you can have a tongue ring. None of those rules are there. So why did they try and do it after? The other one was an army guy got a face tattoo. He decided one night, I'm gonna get the face tattoo, see what they do. He already dyed his hair blonde, which it doesn't match his skin tone. Clearly says in the Army's uniform regs, you can't do that. But they do it anyway. Then it brings me back to, is that their ultimate plan? Join, get kicked out. Now I'm claiming PTSD. Now I can't handle it. I've been sexually harassed. I've been racially profiled. I've been all these things just because. So they had no intention on becoming a soldier anyway. But oops, they made it this far. Now it's time to get out. I hate to think that there's actually people like that. I kind of don't want to believe it. But the other spectrum, you just figured out it's not for me. And there's all those people that get out after their first enlistment, good people. They're awesome people. They just realized this is not for me. I'm going to go a different direction. Right? Getting ready to work with a guy. I did 4 years and got out. Good on you. But half of my Marine Corps League I was attached to, they did 4 years and got out. They're Marines. That's all that matters. And they did their time. They didn't get kicked out. They didn't start bad mouthing the Marine Corps. The Suggs screw me over and now I'm getting out. Screw the Marine. No, it's just not for everybody. And again, ain't nothing wrong with that at all. But do your time. Do your time. Take advantage of as much as you possibly can while you're in. You're doing the time. You earn that stuff. You deserve that stuff. You rate that stuff. Do your time. Do your time quietly. If it's not for you, it's not for you. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's all I want to say about that. Do your time. Young Marine Owen asks, just joined in January. Congratulations. Really like everything we do, the training, PT. Oh, you just joined the Young Marines. Why do I automatically assume when someone said I just joined, I assume the Marine Corps? Just joined the Young Marines. Really like everything we do, the training, PT classes, and all. Why can we only wear our Bravos to school and not our camis? That's can't answer that. That you're gonna have to ask your instructors. I think Young Marines is different. JRTC is different. It's just Civil Air Patrol. They all have different kind of rules and regulations. JRTC is by headquarters, Marine Corps, JRTC. So they're governed by that. So a lot of places probably leave it up to the school. So a good question, ask the principal, your local. Yeah, you just got to ask that question. I recommend you wear camis to school. We would do it. All the JRTCs I was with, we'd wear camis. On special days, we'd wear Bravos, Alphas, Charlies. We'd wear something different just for an inspection or some reason. I don't think there's anything wrong. You probably wear it once a week. Bravos are cool. That's a very cool uniform. But I think there should be an option for you to wear camis as well. Maybe just no one's ever asked that question. Take charge of that baby. Jimmy Y says, you likely get the best child with the Space Force. I'm guessing that too. Mythic Shadow, how to properly shave every day as a Marine? You just got to do it every day, every morning. Shave, whether you need it or not. Every Marine shaves every day. Just talking about a Marine who had to shave like 3 times a day. One of them hairy guys. I think he was Italian. He'd have to shave. As he shaved, it would start to grow back already. Andrew Barr, how long is our minimum time? I don't think they're doing 2-year contracts anymore, but 4 years. At Space Force, you can probably get a shaving waiver, all kinds of waivers, I'm guessing, in the Space Force. We really, really need a Space Force guardian Called them Space Forcemen, I think, on a short. I wasn't thinking, but we need a guardian on the channel to help us out. Right? Guns, every time someone says, I just joined, I'm assuming you just enlisted. You're going to boot camp. Bravos, right, Randy? Bravos are cool. I like the Bravo uniform. Bravos kind of aren't as cool as when you wear them daily. Yeah, facts. Bravos are cool like once a quarter or maybe even once a year. But every day, I don't think so. John McJunkin, Sergeant Major. We use the same standards as the United States Marine Corps. Camis are their work uniform and their Bravos are for public. I like that. That's the answer right there. You don't, and that's what I didn't like about JROTC, because a lot of these kids walk home or ride the public bus home, and they try to, before I got to the school, they authorized them to wear their camis on the public bus. Of course, I changed as soon as I got there. There's no way. As soon as they left campus, they wouldn't leave campus. They'd have to change before they left campus. That's awesome, John McJunkin. I'm glad you do it that way. Can you get in the Corps with the DUI? Yes, you can. Everything's waivable. Vaca, you can. Get with your recruiter, right? You're going to have to request a waiver. Depends on how old you were when you got it and how long ago it was, but they can get you in. Gun says, someone asked me if I tailored my Bravos. I said, no, I tailored my body to the uniform. Oh, yeah. I think Randy or Doc may have said that before. I think Randy said that. You don't tailor uniforms, you tailor your body to fit the uniforms. But tailored Bravos look pretty cool if you got the body for it. Lance Myers here. Hello, Marine. Bravos are cool. However, Marine dress Deltas are better. The Deltas are cool too. The Deltas, so now we're talking long sleeve shirt. Delta short sleeve shirt and blue trousers. The blue Bravos, long sleeve shirt with blue trousers. That one is money because you wear the white cover. Zavaka. It may be hard but doable. I know a guy who got in while in the Corps and was able to reenlist and get a TS, a top secret clearance. So here's the thing: anyone getting ready to join, yes, it's possible. You want to go in the Marine Corps with no waivers whatsoever, no drug waiver, no DUI, no waivers whatsoever. That's why it's important. That's why John McJunkin and crew, I'm telling you, if you're a part of any of those organizations, Devil Pups, Young Marines, JROTC, Civil Air Patrol, anything just to get you in the right mindset, enlist in any one of the services, go to college or go to any one of the services with 0 waivers. That's, man, if you could do that, physically fit, mentally tough, and not a single waiver, good on you. A lot of us, I'm guessing, have waivers. I got a couple myself, but it's just tattoo policy, tattoo waivers. Again, don't do any of that stuff until you get in. Is there a tattoo policy? I have only 2 on my left arm, one's on my forearm, and one on the upper. There is a tattoo policy. I couldn't quote it to you today, but pretty much it's nothing below the wrist, above the neck. You should be good to go. And of course, it depends on what the tattoo is. There is a policy on what they are. Nothing racial, nothing political, nothing gang related. But recruiter, ask your recruiter all those. Show them the tattoos. Doc, have a good night, family. See you on Wednesday. Time to get some PT. Get some. Doc, appreciate you, brother. Stay sharp. We're landing this baby pretty soon. Got to go get those horchatas pretty soon. Balake, Blako. I was 0311 from 2011 to 2015. Was in Weapons Company. Weapons Company. I love Weapons Company. Some beast modes. Always. Andrew Barr. I was a Royal Navy submariner. So I'm struggling to understand what uniforms are. Bravos are like your working clothes. Can miss way too long. Maybe I'll do a video on just our 3 classifications of uniforms. We do have a working uniform, dress uniform, and a service uniform. and there's categories of each one. So it's a lot to talk right now on a live, but Alphas, Bravos, Charlies. Our working uniform is the camis. Utilities, MARPAT, Marine Pattern, Camouflage Utility Uniform. That's our camis. Young Marine Taurus asks, being one of 8 female members of our unit, how do I make the males realize that I'm not competing with them, but just bettering myself? Here's a thing to try. Compete with them. Make it a competition. Everything's a competition. And if boys are dumb and they're immature and they're not going to realize it, but who cares what the boys think? You said it yourself. You're bettering yourself. 1% better every day. Look at Annie Benani, beast mode in a male-dominant school, male-dominant corps of cadets. She was a squad leader, right? She's now going to be instructing the fish drill team next year. She was chosen for that. So compete with them. Get after it. You do you. Good on you, though. One of 8 females. I know it's not easy. USMC Cece, she male-dominant Marine Corps. She succeeded. Male-dominant police force. She's succeeding. So you can. Dress blue Charlies have the long sleeve. That's right, Randy. I was confusing myself. Blue dress Charlies is my favorite. Long sleeve, blue trousers, white cover. Era. Drew Peanuts, weren't tattoo policies lax during Iraq-Afghanistan war? I don't want to say they were lax. They just been under review. Every time we get a new commandant, new sergeant major, they redo the policy. We don't want to turn anyone away because of their tattoos. We also don't want no ghetto. I don't even call it ghetto. Just too much information you put on your body that we still have to an image to uphold. So there are rules. I like that there was rules, but I think it should be case by case in my book. Case by case, you look at the individual, the tattoos, what they stand for, and one-on-one basis. I don't think there should be a blanket rule. Case by case. That's what I mean. Case by case. Yeah. Tattoo policies used to be better. Used to be stricter during Iraq and Afghanistan. My unit would never enforce a rule, though. A lot of guys had sleeves. You had your hand used to, right? If you could cover one tattoo, it's been going back and forth, up and down, left and right. You just don't want to ruin any chances to do things that you might want to do in the Marine Corps, like MSG. No tattoos on the head, to a V-neck shirt, none on the hands, minus a ring tattoo allowed on the finger. That's from Gunny East, current active duty staff NCO, getting ready to be a first sergeant. So he knows that policy. No tattoos on the head, down to a V-neck shirt, none on the hands, minus a ring. I think that's a legitimate, I think that's a good policy. Because you don't want to, again, you get these sleeve tattoos because your boys are getting them, right? That one guy had the fallen soldier on one forearm, then the next one he said, not this time, mother. He might have cursed on it or something. Whatever, it became a big controversy. So, got it. You want to represent, but he just ruined his chances of ever being on MSG, maybe becoming a sergeant major of the Marine Corps. I don't know. Just don't limit yourself to things. I got a couple tattoos. You can't see any of them. They all have meaning, but they're for me. They're not for anyone else. Is being 26 years old okay to join? Absolutely. Right? They keep increasing the age. Everything's waiverable. 26 is not too old at all. Back in the day, only Marines I ever saw in camouflage were Force, Recon, and no one else. Depends on where you are. 26 is getting close to the max of 28. Go see a recruiter tomorrow to make sure you can still get in. Yes, don't wait. Don't wait too much longer. But 26 is not old. Taco, what's the best way to be a recruit during basic? Gunny Rod, where's Hot Rod? He gave the best advice ever to recruits going to boot camp. Move fast and yell loud. You knock those two out right off the bat, They're going to figure it out. All right, this dude is here to play. This female is ready to be a Marine. They're going to teach you everything you need to know. Now, if you want to do well and be ahead of the game, physically fit, mentally tough, and knowledgeable. So get out in PT right now, pull-ups. You should be doing 20 pulls before you go. Running about an 8-9 minute mile is decent. 7-minute mile is great. See, obviously, the faster the better, but be physically fit all around. Planks, right? Burpees. Just thrash yourself every day before you go to boot camp. Mentally tough is kind of, I don't know if you can basically train for that, but watch Marine Corps boot camp. You can listen to it. You can watch as much as you want, but you got to get in your own head. You're going to be yelled at for nothing and intensely yelled at. And you're going to feel like you're doing everything wrong, but you may or may not be. Doesn't matter. You're going to get yelled at. Be able to withstand that and take it with a good aye, sir, aye, ma'am, and a 30-inch step and keep pushing. And then knowledgeable. Any knowledge you can gain before you go. Marine Corps now. If you're going to Marine Corps boot camp, Marine Corps knowledge, right? Military history in general, but Marine Corps history. General orders, right? We're going to put something out about general orders. Are going to help those getting ready to go. The more knowledge, the better. The better. Marine Corps birth date, place, colors, motto, people, Medal of Honor recipients, right? Commandants, sergeants major from way back. All those things, you're just going to be that much further everyone else there. So if you do get there and you're struggling in one area, you don't have to worry about PT. You don't have to worry about knowledge. So you can work on something that you're not as good at, right? You don't want to have to work on everything. So the more you know before you go, the better off you'll be. That's just simple as that. Raymond Evans, where can I get a Marine Corps unit shirt? You got to be in that unit. You can't be wearing a unit shirt if you're not part of that unit. So contact that unit. Everyone has a Facebook. Everyone has we don't do Facebook or Instagram. Find that unit if you've been with that unit. Don't wear a unit shirt if you haven't been with that unit. John McJunkin. We treat, train, and advise all of our cadets the exact same way. Cadet Torres is an exceptional cadet, and we're all very proud of her and all the others. Perfect. Good on you. And I'm sure I didn't tell her anything she hasn't heard yet, but compete. Everything's a competition. If you're going to MCRD, run now. Good advice, Jimmy White. Randy, 100% attitude gets you through boot camp. You're never going to be loud enough. You're going to be fast enough, but try to move fast, yell loud. You should lose your voice as soon as you get there. Gunny says, want to be mentally tough? Go run an ultra marathon and finish without headphones. Just you and your thoughts. Wow. Ultra is, what is ultra? 50? So funny, Guns. I've done a couple of marathons, not blazing speed or anything, but I never liked. I didn't even try to run with headphones until recently, like my last one or two. And it's a game changer to run it with them, with headphones. So you're absolutely right. I never thought about it like that. And getting that runner's high and all that stuff, you're just in a different world. Never really experienced that. A little bit on different runs. But that's a great point, especially today, Guns, because kids, people live with their earbuds in. They live with them 24/7. They got something going on in their ears. So can you imagine? Go to the gym. It drives me crazy. I wear mine because everyone else does. Poor excuse. I get it. But anytime you talk to you, got to have to, what is that? What'd you say? I didn't hear you. And they put it right back in. Nobody talks at the gym anymore. So that would be a true, that's awesome. I like that. You want to get mentally tough? Go without your earbuds for a day. But even more so, run a marathon. Man, the things you can think of. That's awesome. I like that. I'm writing that down. I'm going to do a short on that eventually. Go without your earbuds for a day or go for a run without your earbuds. No earbuds. The timing's going to be tough. I'm getting addicted to them too. I didn't have them until like last year, right? I finally got some. I was like, oh, that's a big deal. I don't need them. I don't need them. Now it's like, where's my earbuds? I'm a little hard of hearing, so it does help. Man, moped Mike, just run the beach. That's what I did. Running the beach is tough. You ride a moped, Mike? Anybody see you riding a moped? Same SFMF channel, same SFMF time. WW, taking off? We're getting ready. If I had jaw surgery, would that disqualify me? That's up to MEPS. I don't think so. Surgeries don't disqualify you unless it's something that's you're going to have trouble with throughout your career. But no, you can have injuries. That's a MEPS question though. Once they give you a physical at MEPS, don't try to hide it. Just tell them everything. Be honest with it. Randy says, I've been asked for Marine Corps swag by others over the years. We did not share anything USMC with people outside of immediate family. Same, even family members wondering, can I wear this? And I'm not a Marine, but my son is, my daughter is. I think so. I think parents can. Family members, siblings. You see them at every MCR, every graduation, the whole family's wearing it. I think that's legit. Just obviously don't try to claim it. I even have a USMC dad shirt for USMC CC. I have another one soon for Annie Banani. But just random civilians, no. Gun East, anything more than a marathon, so like 26 plus. Oh, anything more than a 26.2. Don't forget that 0.2. That's pretty painful too. That last 0.2. Guns did a 76 kilometer in Africa with 10K, 10,000 foot in elevation. No headphones allowed. 11 hours, 1 minute. Man, 11 hours and 1 minute. You couldn't push that last minute, make it 11 hours even? Come on, slacker. That is amazing. 11 hours running. I think I could do that. I do. I like running. I like running long distance. And I'm telling you, until recently, like about a year since we've been here, I run with them. I walk with them. I work out with them. But 11 hours with no headphones. That's awesome. What did Chad say? Going without your earbuds isn't anything new in the Navy SEAL, dude. That's always that Navy SEAL dude that always talks about carrying the boat and has been saying that for years. That Navy SEAL dude. Which one? What's his name? One that curses a lot? Tim Nichols. What's happening? Runner's High. What is that? Lake Cookie. Runner's High. What is that? The feeling you covered in your own doo-doo and happy you're alive. That's that Runner's High. Trying to convince my wife to let me run 100K in September, but she said I'm crazy because I still have that tear in my hip. I said, who cares? It will never heal itself. Do it. Do the 100K in September. Where's that going to be? Where's that the 100K going to be? Long say we did around Oahu? Was it 249 miles? Yeah, a team of 10 did like 250 miles, whatever it was, in 3 different sections. We just had different sections. But 100K, how many miles is that? Randy, in my 40 years as a U.S. Marine, have given just one T-shirt to a non-Marine. It says, friend of a Marine with an EGA. That's cool. That's very cool. So I did have had a broken jaw before boot camp. Didn't have an issue. Gunny, you had a broken jaw? So you're talking trash? Is that what it was? Would love to get a friend of a Marine to my Army buddy. That's cool. That's a cool shit. I've never seen that. So I had a hernia on the depot. As a drill instructor, I created a hernia from yelling. She just said it's from yelling. I never could yell from the diaphragm. I wasn't doing it right. I was screaming, I guess. I don't know, but pretty intense. Pretty intense where I felt it coming out. Like I never experienced that before, just from yelling, ah, and I feel I, I had to push it back in, and it was automatic. And when recruits, they do the gong show, they mock drill instructors, make fun of the drill instructors, because I would run cadence, running, calling cadence, low, right or left. I'd have to hold that in. The hernia was trying to pop out. And I went to the doc. Of course, I asked Corman. They're like, "Yeah, you got surgery, and you'll be down for like 2 months." I can't be down as a drill instructor. Are you kidding me? So I never got it fit. I just hold it. I'm telling you, yelling at many pictures of me. You see me holding my hernia in while I was drill instructor in, and then it kind of, I thought it went away. I did. And finally, one time it was hurting real bad. I went to doc. She's like, "You have to get. You kidding me? It's gonna pop out. Then it's gonna be too late. You have to get it fixed." What does she know? She was just a doctor. So I didn't. I didn't. Never got it fixed. Then I left the drill field. I wasn't yelling anymore. So every now and then when I'd sneeze or cough, I'd kind of feel it, but I thought it healed itself. Where did I get my PhD? I didn't. But then it started acting up again. How long later? Oh, yeah, when I became a JRTC instructor, because now I'm yelling again and running and calling cadence and drill. It started to pop out again. And this time I went to the VA and I had it fixed. I finally did. Surgery was crazy. That was my first surgery ever. Never broke a bone or anything. That was my first surgery. Didn't do too well with the anesthesia. That was weird. I didn't like that at all. They kept just pumping more in me. I remember right before they put me out, right? He was like, "Do you have PTSD?" The doc, some little guy. I was like, "I don't know." He said, "How do you take anesthesia?" I said, "I don't know. I've never had it before." He's like, They called in Swede. They called in Swede from he did. He said, "Give him 10 more CCs." I don't know what that meant, but next thing I know, I was in La La Land. I don't remember. He said, "Sorry, but I'm putting you out." He said, "I don't know. You're a bigger guy. I don't need you waking up swinging at anybody or, causing a ruckus." So I was out cold. I don't remember a thing. I was done. I was taken care of. I haven't had a problem with it since. Right? Knock on wood. But it did scare me. All right. Gunny says, "I didn't know what time it was. I was just trying to beat the dark." Wow, 11 hours, 23 of 93. The 1 minute doesn't bug me. Man. All right. Steve Ammer. What's up, brother? Love you, brother. Keep up the good work. All right. This is what we do. This is what we're doing. Appreciate you. Gnomes, stories. I'll get that. Let me get gnomes. I asked you a question last week about OCS. I found out a few weeks ago I got selected for the summer. Just finished mini OCS this weekend. I went in sick as hell. It shocked me. Man, now you know. Any advice on how to deal with balance of being a Marine and being away from family? Wow. That's a good one. And here's what I've learned over the years is the family is struggling just as much as you, but the family's got to. There's a little hidden secret. If they tell you everything's going great, you got to believe them, whether it is or not. You need to focus 100% on what you're doing. OCS nowadays with communication, it's going to be a lot easier than back in the day. But Desert Storm, I'll bring it back to that, bring everyone back. We didn't communicate. I didn't talk to my wife for like 5 months because of technology. So you can do it. Right, it's tough. Every new deployment, every field op, the first couple of weeks are always the toughest when you miss your family the most, miss your kids. But focus, surround yourself by good people, and you're all in the same boat, right? That's shared misery that you're all dealing with. But congratulations. Keep getting after it. Young Marine Perkins from John McJunkin's crew. Our unit is getting a brand new training center thanks to Gunny G. It's got a weight room, pool, and classroom. No more leaky roof in the old building. That's awesome. John McJunkin and crew, congratulations. You guys are awesome. Gunny Grainer, good on you. Take advantage of it. Get after it while you can and appreciate it. Take care of it. That's what happens with a lot of Marine barracks. another topic for another time, but I sat on a board with all these colonels and the general, but a bunch of colonels, sergeants, major, saying, man, the infantry just doesn't take care of their bed. They thrash the barracks. We can't trust the infantry with these barracks. They trash them. They destroy them. Not totally wrong. He wasn't wrong. He wasn't lying. But the problem is with the infantry, and it's gotten a lot better now. It's gotten better over the years, over the decade that I've been away from it. But in Hawaii in particular, 3 battalions were doing the work of 4 battalions. So they're constantly on the move. They didn't have any barracks to call their own. In the 2 deployments I did in 3-3, we probably lived in about 15 different barracks in 2 years, right? Not a whole lot of time, 3 years, however long I was there. The companies were moving. The company office was moving. We were hot racking barracks, right? One time we got back and we were spread out. One battalion was spread out to like 14 different barracks. How's that? How'd you like to be a platoon sergeant and having your platoon in 3 different barracks? Right? It was insane. So again, it's can't get any worse, but it definitely has gotten better. But the reason, and this was I brought up in that meeting 20 years ago, the reason the infantry doesn't take care of their barracks, not making excuses for them, we need to hold them accountable, but it's not theirs. There's nothing their own. They know when they leave this deployment, they have no idea where they're coming back to. So the limited time they're staying in the barracks, if it was theirs, that they knew for 3 years stationed with this unit, this is my room. There are many like it, but this one is mine. They'll take care of it because they have to live there for 3 years. They want to come back to a nice barracks. So we moved into a condemned barracks that I condemned when I was the station sergeant major, the air station. Condemned it. Said we got to move our Marines out. This is unsafe, unhealthy. We did. We moved out. They roped it off. Police tape all around it. Moved out. One of my deployments in 3-3, a year later, we came back from deployment. Here you go. Nothing to see here. Just pulled the tape down and said, congratulations, move in. So I know with barracks thing 2030 and it's gotten better. But take care of that new. All that to say, appreciate what you got and please take care of it. 62-mile run, 100K, Northern Virginia by West Virginia. When is it? Give me the time and dates, brother. Don't wait for me, but I can run 62 miles. We signed up. We signed up for the Marine Corps Marathon this year. Did I tell you that? Where's Kimi Cocoa Puffs? Me and Kimi Cocoa Puffs are doing this year's 2026 Marine Corps Marathon. I forgot all about that. I'm thinking about training for it this year too. 62.13 kilometers, 137, 100K. I mean, 62 miles, 62.1 miles. Angie Bar, have you got that hernia fixed now? I did. That's what I'm telling you. 20 years later, I got the hernia fixed. All good. I was not talking smack. I got sucker punched. Gunnies. I got punched. Never saw it coming. The nurse at the house was like, it looked like you got in a fight. I said, no, if it was in a fight, I wouldn't be here. Hernias are rough. Have you had any other injuries? Nope. How hard would it be to get these waivers for tats and DUIs? I'll tell you what, Hasvaka, put them in. Have your recruiter put them in. It takes time, so do it early. And then if, by chance, if one of them comes back as a no, put it in again with somebody else. Keep asking the questions. Those are 2 easy waivers. Maybe your recruiter's not good at it or didn't go through the right chain. Don't give up. Don't never quit or give up. So keep trying for it. WW just wants to know the shipping address. Did you see his? Can you reply to his email? We'll get to it, WW. Mayan Hawaiian era. The ultra marathon? West Virginia. Or no. Where's the ultra marathon you did? gonna eat. Make sure you partner up with a mature, solid individual that can handle the tough days without you. Oh, gnomes. Yeah.
Too many people get divorced because they marry the stripper.
Yeah, that happens too. That was another one. This wife. There was another. I can't remember what show I watched that on. She was mad at she cheated on her husband and he pulled everything. She's like, this sucks. Family advocacy's not helping me. The military's not helping. I can't get a military lawyer. I can't do this. I can't do that. Crying. Can you guys help me? Can you guys help? Well, you messed up. Make sure you partner up with a mature, solid individual that can handle the tough days without you. That's to that. How do you handle your family? Galaxy, sup, military dude? Just strolling through. You strolling through, you trolling through. Thank you, says Gnomes. Beast mode. You got to have a beast mode family. John McJunkin. Young Marine Harp. I like all the stuff we do, but why we're asked to help provide weekend watch over the military cemetery is not cool. We're not alone, but it's just creepy. That's that mental toughness. They're already working on your mental toughness. In the military, hurry up and wait is a daily event. You're going to do something. There was another video I saw. This female soldier was whining and complaining. She's like, why do I have to guard a box that's locked in a box, that's locked in a bigger box, that's locked in a compound, that's locked by a cage and a fence with barbed wire that's locked on a base that's locked down by a base? Quick and easy answer is suck it up, buttercup. You join the army. That's just what you're going to do. There's times that it makes sense somewhere, somehow. You don't need to know. So why do you have the honor to guard a military cemetery? You should be thankful and blessed that you are able to do something like that. It's for a reason. It's not cool. It's not cool, and it's going to be boring. You're going to do plenty of that, and it's all for a purpose. So when you are standing watch in a combat zone where you have to be up for 12 hours watching, make sure nothing happens to the rest of your platoon, you'll know how to do it, right? Everything you do has a reason, has a purpose, right? I almost said Shimoji-san. What was it on? Karate Kid. Daniel-san. Wax on, wax off. Doesn't seem like there's a purpose to it until he did the Swan and won that championship. There's a reason for everything. Get after it. Suck it up. Stoner Bob is out. Good night, Stoner Bob. Have a good night. We'll see you Wednesday. September 17th. This will be the great training for that. September 17th. October. Who's doing the Marine Corps Marathon? Sign up for the Marine Corps Marathon. There's still, we need to find out. I'm trying to get Annie Benani to make sure she can go. Whatever. First Marine, Randall Knapp. Oh my, first Marine I met in the barracks. My roommate was a Lance Corporal, tough, bullish guy. I was a young PFC, had to prepare to fight him immediately. My best brother to this day. Amen. Inbound, LZ, getting ready to pop smoke. All right, thanks, Carl. Good man, lucky having no other injuries. I'm telling you, I've been blessed. You drink milk, you got to make your bones strong. Have you ever met a French legionnaire? I don't know if I have or not. I've met a lot of French soldiers. I don't know. No one said, I'm a French legionnaire, but met plenty of other foreign services all over. Not a bad story to tell about any of them. The 76K was in South Africa. It was called the Adu Ultra. I got to do marathons farthest I've ever run, 26.2. I've done them a few times. Love them. They're painful, but I like that pain. John McJunkin, young Marine Gilman says, my parents have said the young Marines have made me a better son, better brother to my siblings. I'm actually doing better in school too. Amen. Amen and amen. That's what I'm telling you. Remember that short I did? Every high school senior should do military service. I think that logistically that might be impossible. Maybe other countries do it. Maybe it's impossible for America, but they should at least do some form of military training, whether it's young Marines, Devil Pups, Sea Cadets, or JROTC, any of those. Every single teenager should do it because of that reason right there. Good on you, Gilman. That's awesome. Good to hear. All right. Osaka, so if the recruiter doesn't want to deal with the paperwork, can I go to a different country? I live in Corpus, Texas. Do you mean different county? Oh, can I go to a different recruiter office? Yes, you absolutely can. 100%. What that'll do is like, hey, why is this guy going out of his county? Why aren't you handling it? So to get the attention that it needs. Now, I'm not saying that the recruiter's not going to want to do the paperwork. That's what they're there for. Maybe they're just not good at it. They haven't done it before. Just don't take no for an answer. What? Or they might be busy and it just might take longer for whatever reason. Oh. Oh, yeah, yeah, and just because the Marine Corps might not be taking waivers at this time, so recruiting's good in the Marine Corps. They don't always need waivers. It might be a no for now. All right, Lake Cookie, Randall Knapp. I have a broken front tooth that the sergeant major gave me when we were Lance Corporals. Oh, bro. Semper Fi, brother. Look at it, brothers to this day. Oh, bro. All right, Anonymous, we're landing this helicopter right now. Become a member and join us Wednesday. Been missing for a bit, dealing with my mental health issues, mobility issues. Anonymous, come back. Come back on Wednesday. Become a member. $1.99 so we can talk about it on Wednesday. Wednesday live members. Join us. All of you, join us. Ooh, great show. God bless you all. That was amazing. Happy Sunday. Say your prayers. We're landing this helicopter right now. Appreciate all of you. Appreciate you. And we'll see you again Wednesday for members, next Sunday for everyone else. Have a great week. Get after it. Be aggressive.